Okay, so before the video starts, I want to put up a disclaimer for the first half of the video. What happened is I left the cat in the center and really big for about the first half of the video. During that time, I basically covered the current topic of this video, which is just setting up different features that are necessary for the next version of the Pong AI. And the specific code that overlaps with where the cat is overlapping the code is me writing in a while loop into my scripting code. So that code is not exactly AI code. It's just a prerequisite for my AI code. So again, I apologize in advance for leaving it like that. From now on, I'm not going to put the cat in the center like this. I'm just going to leave him in the corner and not bother because it's causing more headache than it's really worth at the moment. But yeah, so yeah, sorry about that in advance. If you still want to watch the video, I believe most of the code is still visible to some extent. But yeah, the cat is in the way for a big chunk of the video. But yeah, other than that, I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you. All right. Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello, hello. I think this is stream number 9. Actually, maybe I should go look at my numbers just to make sure. Just to be extra clear, because I think I'm off by a certain number. Yeah, so I have 10 videos, so I guess this is stream. Well, this is stream 9 if you don't count my like intro video. So I'm like, yeah, I must stay. Oh wait, no. This is stream 10 if you don't count my intro video. What am I talking about? Yeah, okay, so I'm off by 1. This is stream number 10. Okay, well, anyways, I'll have to go ahead and start the stream. So for news, basically, prior to this stream, the first thing is that prior to this stream, I did 2 commits. One of them was a quick bug fix because I was trying to get the current build working on another computer. And the other commit was me testing out some things. I added one feature. I'll go ahead and show you what I added. I'm not going to explain it too much. It's like a rendering thing. But basically, I was just trying to make sure that things that I have planned for this stream, I'm able to do them with relative certainty. Right. So that's pretty much it for those commits. If you're on YouTube, of course, I'll link them in the comments so you can take a look at those, and I'll link the current commit that I'm going to write right now. And then the other little bit of news, not really news, but yeah, like the AI for Pong actually works. Like, I don't know, that's just amazing to me. I mean, let me just real quick, let me show you it working right now, just in case if you didn't see the last stream where we were at with it. And then while it's building, I'll go ahead and open up our progress board. Go ahead and take a look. So pretty much right now, we finished version 1 of the Pong AI, and I've actually added a level just for that Pong AI, right? So basically my next goal really is to just get version 2, 3, and 4 of the Pong done, but prior to doing version 2, I'm going to need to get these 2 features in. Well, this is like 2 features, but anyways, so I guess 3 features in total. I need to add while loops to my KG scripts. Yeah, currently we don't support while loops. It's a really easy fix for, like, I looked through it. It might take decent chunk of time, so probably the first bit of the stream. After that, I'm going to make sure I can add debug dots and lines to the editor. Is music really Team CA free? I don't know. Let's switch over here. Just looking at the music really quick. But anyways, yeah, so for the debug dots and lines in the editor, I made sure that I'm physically able to add the lines and dots, And I already have an idea on how I'm going to put that together, so hopefully it shouldn't take too long, but we'll see. The raycasting support is the part that probably will take the longest, just because I need to add a few different things to get this to work. But I did take a look through my underlying physics library, which I use Box2D, by the way. So I took a look at that, and I think I understand how to interact with it now. So yeah, I think I'll be able to do it. It's just I know there's a few features I'm gonna have to add in order to get it like fully implemented. Shouldn't be too crazy. I mean, I estimate maybe like an hour and some change for that. I guess if you're watching the video, you already know how long it took, right? But yeah, so hopefully I can get these two done today. And then this one should be relatively easy to add once I, how do you say? Once I have these two features in. Because basically these two are just kind of like supporting, and then this will be, basically, well, let me show you in the diagram really quick what we got. So again, if you're confused about the diagrams, you can look in my last video, and then you'll be able to see my explanation of all these states. We've already implemented version 1 of the AI, and all the version 1 does is it starts in a null state, and then the AI transitions into a seek ball state, which all it does is just follow the Y value of the ball. And at the end of the game, it goes back to a null state. That's pretty much as simple as you can get, right? So this stream, hopefully, if I get all the prerequisites done for this section, then I'll be able to write this. And basically all I have to do is just, and let me get a little drawing thing part working, get this working right here. This is the main bit. I need to be able to calculate the location, like the predicted location of the ball after a certain number of bounces, and I need to get that location. What is going on? Come on. Oh, sorry, it wasn't working for a second. Yeah, I need to calculate the predicted location of the ball when it collides with the AI's wall, and then use that location as like to seek towards for the how do I say, the paddle, right? And everything else here is just a little bit of logic for transitioning states, but you'll see in the code this actually isn't too bad. Really the only main thing that transitions between states is collisions. So all this code will just be written directly in the collision code. And again, end game, of course, is like if someone wins the game, and then start game, of course, is when the game starts, right? So hopefully we can get through this soon. If you're confused on seek location, I can kind of show you real quick. So we'll seek ball again, like it attempts to move the Y value closer to wherever the ball currently is, right? So the paddle will, how do I say? This AI paddle will attempt to get its Y value to match. So it'll move this way to match the Y value of the paddle with the ball, right? And then the seek location is the same thing, except we provide an arbitrary Y location. So in this case, we're calculating the Y location based on the collisions with the walls. What I mean by that is like, we'll do this, right? And then this, and then we'll do this, right? And then we'll walk this back here and go, oh, this is the collision point. And then this is the Y value we'll seek, not this Y value. In this case, it's the same, but it's not necessarily the same, right? So that's what we're gonna need to add. And then basically the two features that I'm going to add, where it's the while loop is going to facilitate the multiple, like these multiple iterations. And that's what I need the while loop for. And then the debug lines is going to allow me to actually visualize these lines during gameplay, so I can physically see what the how do I say, what the AI is thinking, right? And then I can tune it based on like game requirements, right? And the other thing is, of course, doing this is a raycast, so I need to make sure I add raycasting support, which will require a few little additions to the engine, but I don't have to implement raycast by hand since I'm using Box2D. I just need to connect it to the API, and then that's it. Okay, so let's take a look real quick. Since I'm excited, I want to go ahead and show you guys the current AI again before we start. It might be a little bit loud, hopefully it's not. Ooh, okay, yeah. Alright. So basically, I'm controlling the left side player. I probably should indicate that at some point when I really clean up these levels, but yeah, let's go and see some gameplay. So as you see, or I mean, you might be able to tell that all the pedal is doing is just moving towards the Y value of the ball. It's a bit slower than the actual ball, because it has a certain speed that it moves by. So yeah, there needs to be more logic for, like, say if I do this type of collision, like my player hits the ball, right? And then maybe I can actually, how do I say? Maybe I can actually stop it, so... Right here, right? So you can see that the ball is moving in this direction, right? So it'll bounce here, and then bounce up, right? So if I step through, you'll see... Yeah, it's just seeking the location blindly. But what I want it to do is actually, what is it? Predict the actual location where the ball is supposed to be. And I'll go ahead and stop doing that. Yeah, I want it to actually use some prediction logic, so it's not just blindly following, and it can actually kind of think of, oh no, you know what? Instead of going straight for the ball's location, I'm going to go for where I think it's going to be. So that's the next, like, leap for the AI, I guess, conceptually. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. So let me go ahead and look back at our progress board and see where we're going to start. So yeah, we need to add while loops and we need to add the debug line. So I'm going to do the while loops first because it's the easiest addition that I'm aware of. So yeah, let me go ahead and get started. Oh yeah, okay, sorry. Before I get started, let me explain the two commits that I did. So the first commit that I did, all I did was just fix a little bug. Let me see if I can look at my commit history. I believe I can look at it on here, but it's probably not the best looking. Actually, let me duplicate this. My mouse, what is going on? Okay. Yeah, let me head back to my repository. Okay, so I committed these two commits prior to starting the stream, right? So this first commit, all I did was make a quick... Okay, don't mind this. I didn't actually change this. It's just because I copied and pasted a file in. Yeah, I added all these spaces. Why did I add all these spaces? That's annoying. Anyways, the only real change that I made to this... yeah, it made the commit look so obnoxious, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, let me find the actual part that got changed. Okay, this is the only actual part that got changed. Right, it's this. Then don't mind everything else. So this, I basically added, this is in the scripting service, right? So I just made it so that, these new AI components and these new, these new AI state components and these new project components, right? These are accessible for the scripting when I start making the script module, because before I wasn't making these immediately available. And then when I try and compile the module like fresh, it goes, hey, what are these components? What are these AI states you're talking about? Because it has no idea, right? I didn't load in the registry yet. So I had to make sure that if they're not loaded in, like if the size is 0, then we'll load them in, and then we can go from there, right? So that just fixed like an issue with it not starting up from like a fresh download, right? And then the other thing, yeah, don't get too bogged down with the code. like, yeah. And then basically this one, I changed a few things in the backend renderer. I probably should have done this on stream, but I was trying to make sure that making the debug lines was viable. So basically all I did, if you take a look at it, is I just went through and added like a draw points API. So now we can draw points along with like triangles and lines and whatnot, whatever other primitives inside the renderer. So I added this draw points section for the renderer API. I added a function to go ahead and process these points. And actually, you know what? I probably should get rid of this line width now that I'm looking at it. Shader code. Yeah, this just provides the correct, how do I say, the way that I set up my shaders is very unique and kind of confusing, so I'm not going to try and explain it fully. And like, saying it's confusing is not a compliment to like, how I made it. It's just confusing. I need to fix it. But yeah, long and short of it, this is just necessary for draw points to work. And then again, this is necessary, this is necessary, and this is necessary for draw points to work in general, right? So we'll see this in action once I start adding the actual point, drawing the points API in there. But since I'm looking at this, I do want to get rid of this because line width has nothing to do with draw points. I think rendering service 248. Okay. Rendering service. Let's go take a look. 248. Yeah, over here. So yeah, this is necessary. Changing the line width makes sense for here, but not here. Maybe I'll change the point size. That might be useful. But this is fine. So. Alright, so that's it for the previous commits. Let me go ahead and start coding. So again, the first thing I wanted to do was add a while loop to my compiler. So let me head over to my script compiler. The first thing I need to do to add the while loop, I'll go ahead and write it in my little notes, is I need to add new keywords. So I need to add a while keyword. While, I need to add a continue, I need to add a break. Next thing is I need to add a while statement, right? Is it a statement? Yeah, it's a statement. Yeah. And then I need to add a how do I say, a continue statement, continue, and a break. Let's put them all here. Statement to script parser. Yeah, we need these new keywords, keyword tokens. So I need to add these to the tokenizer. So we already have keywords, but we need these particular token types, right? Then we need to add the add the while statement, the continue statement, and the break statement, right? I also might want to add some logic where like you can't add a continue statement. I would say actually I don't know, but does the MSVC thing deal with that? What if I put continue right here? What happens? Does it get mad at me? Oh, it does get mad at me. Yeah, it's aware that we're in a while loop. Okay. Okay. So I might want to add that. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that. Maybe what I can do is I can like add like a stack variable to my parser, and what the stack variable will do is like it'll just keep adding, like kind of how like I have my stack frame. I'm gonna have like my stack frames for my variables. I'm gonna have a similar thing for how do I say, for like while loops and for loops. So like when I'm inside of a for loop or inside of a while loop, I'll add like a little like identifier saying like you are inside a while loop, you are inside a for loop. and then we can query that to check whether a continuous statement makes sense. But yeah, I'll see how that goes. I might add that, so make sure continue and break only occur inside while loop. And then output while loop continue and break statements to C++ correctly. And if you're kind of confused on what I'm talking about with this, essentially, I'm assuming if you understand coding, you understand what a while loop is. But essentially, you have a condition. You check every time we run through this series of statements. So if we're here, restart, run through the start, running through the while loop. And then when we start running through the while loop, the first thing we do is check this condition. If the condition is true, then we start the while loop. If you come back and the condition changes to false, then we exit the loop immediately. That's all the while loop is. And then we just have like a series of and then one of the statements that's useful only in a while loop or in a for loop is a break or a continue. So a break will immediately exit out of the loop and then take you directly to this location, right? A break will just take you back up to the top and check the condition again. But either way, both of these mess with the control flow of this like series of statements, right? And they're necessary for like different things and whatnot. But yeah, basically I need to add these keywords while continue and break so that, you know, I can actually recognize these as tokens while break, continue, whatever. Then I need to add a statement for processing a while loop. I need to add a statement, a simple statement for just having a continue, and a simple statement for adding a break. And then these will get transitioned into like my AST, right? And then I just need to add some error checking to make sure that these breaks and continues can only occur inside of this while loop. So one thing I might do is like if we enter a while loop, I'll probably have like a stack, and then it'll be like of like inside like I don't know, stack of bulls or something. I don't know, but like it'll essentially just be like it'll indicate whether we are inside of a while loop, right? This variable or the stack of variables, right? And then if the stack is empty, then we know that, oh, okay, we're not inside of a while loop because we're gonna enter something, push something out of the stack, and then when we exit, we pop something off the stack, right? And then if we enter into like a while loop that's inside of a while loop, yeah, so if we enter into a while loop inside of the while loop, then we can push another one onto the stack, and then we know that this break is associated with this. We don't actually really need to know that. The C++ compiler already deals with that. I just want to be aware of that so that I can provide error checking for these, right? The last thing is just output the loop. This is pretty straightforward. Like the code is like one-to-one with the C++, so this won't take much work. So yeah, let's go ahead and get that done. So the first place we need to go to is the tokenizer. So script tokenizer. And actually, no, wait, hold on. We need to go to script compiler common, I think. Because I think this is where we define our keywords. Oh, no. I know where we define our keywords. We define them in the language definition. So script compiler service, actually, because the script compiler service is a static class which hosts an active language definition, right, for the compiler. So let's go ahead and see wherever we initialize this, and then we have all these keywords. So all we have to do is just add the keywords here, pretty easy. We have break. Continue. One on top is while. Yeah, and then I believe that's actually as easy as that, to be honest. So now we should be recognizing these as keywords. If I compile this now, the parser has no idea how to deal with these keywords, but we should at least recognize them as keywords. So surprisingly enough, yeah, this is done. You gotta take your easy W's when you get them, right? Okay, so let me go over to the test script. Trusty old test script. So I believe while, there we go. So while is now recognized as a keyword, but of course the compilers have no idea what to do with the while loop. It's just like, what is this? You know? Yeah. I think the default error is just, did you forget a semicolon when it has no idea what something is? Yeah. So that's good. And then also let me make sure break. And then continue. Yeah, these are all keywords now. So cool. So good. Now we need to add while, continue, and break statements to the script parser. So the first thing I'm going to do is add the while statements, since these are going to, the existence of these and then their linter support is going to exist as a part of the while loop. Even though these are easier to implement, yeah, I'm going to do these first. So let's do the while loop. Let me think. The first thing that I'm aware of is I need to add a while statement. So let's go over to, now this time we're going to go back to script common. Compiler common. And then we're going to find where will we define statements? Here's where we define statements. So we have statement empty, expression, declaration, claimants, conditional, declaration, return, right? Let's add one more. We'll do the statements while. Maybe let's call it while, I don't know. Maybe there's another name for this, but it's good enough for me. So I'll just put this at the bottom since that's where it was. Correct. And yeah, the closest analog I can probably have to this is the conditional. It's going to look very similar. But the nice thing is we're not going to have any chain conditionals because while loops kind of exist on their own, basically, right? You'll still be able to like put while loops inside of while loops for sure. But yeah, we don't need, like, we need these chain conditionals for if statements because of the fact that you can like chain them in a row, right? So you have an if, and then you need to be aware whether you're using an else if this else is valid, right? So we need to be aware of this structure, right? Because if you do an else without an if, this is an error state because it's like else what? Like else what? Wait, what are you talking about? So let's see, where was I at? So yeah, we don't need this. We do need body statements for sure. We do need the condition expression. Conditional type. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, no, I'm messing with my thing now. Okay, we don't need a type. I need a lot of new things in my mouse is messing up, my microphone's kind of, I don't know, you can hear all my noises on my desk. I keep pulling my headset. Yeah, I gotta go work. Get some new stuff. You know, work extra day. Okay, so as far as I can tell, this is all that's necessary for a while loop. We're just gonna have a series of statements, and then we're just have a conditional expression, and that's it. And I guess while I'm here, I might as well go ahead and add the break. Break. I think the return has like a return value. Break and the continue. I might lump these together as like one type instead of having it like this, but yeah, that's fine. Well, whatever. All right, so statement return while loop. Statement break and statements continue. There we go. Feels bad having nothing here, but I guess so. All right, so we built our statements. Next thing we need to do is actually parse these statements. So what we need to do is we need to go to the script parser. And at this point where we're at, we will already recognize like the while and the break and continue keywords, right? So those are already like available in the parser. So we just need to use those to figure out like how we want to create the actual statement expressions, right? And again, the closest analog I have for the while is the condition. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat off of that one, but we don't need any chains. And then we're going to parse a, how do I say? While loop. I might as well add the break and continue while I'm here. Yeah, might as well do that. Okay, and I will deal with these in a second. Let me just put a to-do deal with this. Where is okay. I don't know. First statement while loop. All right. So again, like I said, this is going to be very similar to the conditional one. So let me just yoink this, and I'll figure out which parts of this are necessary, which is probably going to be a lot of it, actually. Yeah, that is some code, isn't it? Okay. All right. So is current condition chained? It's already in error state. Everything else is actually pretty good. So let me just go ahead and read straight through this, and I'll go ahead and parse it accordingly. So first thing is this isn't a condition, so I'm gonna rename this to statements while loop. Yeah, just inside the function. Good. Token buffer's fine. Initial advance is fine. What do I call it? Advance? Initial advance? Initial keyword location. What do I call it? Initial advance? It's kind of weird. I usually call it current location. Oh, because we're actually advancing tokens in this case, not the actual expression. Oh, because it's a statement, right? Okay. I was confusing this with how I parse expressions versus statements. They're a bit different. Yeah, here I just purely advance it. So, anyways, yeah, let's switch this over to a statement while loop. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. That's silly. Statements while loop. And I'm gonna throw a bunch of errors, but that's fine. So first, only allow else if if else if predicate says that this new conditional is part of a chain. Yeah, I don't need to do any of this logic, but one thing I do need to check. So this is current chained, and then this is if it's not chained. But regardless, it looks like what I'm doing is it checks if the current keyword is if, right? And then if it's not if, and then we do a little bit of logic, and then we advance based on the initial advance. And then this initial advance is like varied because we have like how do I say, like if you have like an if else, that's like 2 tokens instead of 1, so you have to advance twice instead of for 1 time. Right, and you'll notice like here else I have 2 advances. With an else we have 1 advance. If we have 1 advance, right? So we don't need this actually, because the advance is always going to be just 1. I believe this only is relevant, yeah, in the first aspect of it, and then this is just the chain thing. Why it's throwing error. So let me see if I can just write some new code right here. Something like this. While. So if token buffer.type is not equal to keyword, or the value is not equal to while, then return peacefully. Does they return peacefully? Statement is not a while loop, right? So this is kind of like our chance to like early out basically from this, because we're going to be looping through all the statements. So we're going to enter here real quick, check, oh, is there a while here? If there is a while, then we can continue, and everything past this point is essentially like fair game. Or it's basically like you can start throwing errors, because if you put a while keyword, I'm expecting you to like finish what you started, right? So if you put a while keyword and then you just decided to just say fuck all and do something else, then that's on you. I'm gonna throw some errors, right? But yeah, if I don't see a while, then I'm just gonna early out and say, okay, this statement obviously is not a while loop. So at this point, I believe I can just advance, and then I can erase all this. Okay, now this logic only happens if it's not equal to else. So this has nothing to do with us. I'm gonna go ahead and just erase it. Well, no, actually this does, because we are going to use a conditional. So this is the if the condition is not else, as in it's else if, or it's an if, then we're expecting a like a condition inside of like a curly brace. So we have like a open parentheses with a condition, right? If you have like an if statement, or if you have an else if, then you're going to have a condition, right? In this case, we're writing a while loop. The while loop will need a condition always, right? So really what I can do is just get rid of this, because this is actually entirely necessary. And then we are going to check for opening parentheses. And yeah, in this case, we are going to throw a parse error if we don't get a parentheses, because we already confirmed that this is supposed to be a while loop. So yeah, we open parentheses, we advance again, because now we're going to move on to the next token. We're going to parse a condition expression. So yeah, this is, I believe, going to be the exact same code. The only difference is, yeah, actually no, this is the exact same code, because even in this case, where condition expression is the exact same thing. So in a conditional if-else statement, we store the condition expression if it's relevant. For a while loop, we always have a condition expression. So yeah, this code is always relevant. So parse condition expression. Let me just read it real quick, just make sure I didn't throw anything silly. Parse expression node, so we do the actual parsing. Attempt to parse expression. And then, yeah, check for general errors or invalid return type. Yeah, sure. Could not parse condition for a while statement. Initial keyword, yeah, looks fine. Is context probe. Okay, so here we want to do while. But otherwise, the context probe will do the same thing, because it's still checking for a Boolean expression at the end of the day. So yeah, this is fine. Maybe I'll put a comment saying for context probe. I'll just put it in parentheses. Context probe. Or in editor suggestions. Get some water really quick. Ooh, okay. Alright, check for context probe. If we get perimeter type from token, so if we get the expression, so this is just checking to make sure that the return type actually is a Boolean. This is going to be a while, so I'll say ensure expression return type is a Boolean, and then we just store it. And then yeah, all of the error cases we just early it out, so I don't need to do any other checking. So now we check for close parentheses. Yep, we always do that. And then check for opening curly brace. Yep. First condition statements and body statement. Now this one's going to be an interesting change, and this is where I might need to add some more custom code to get this to work. Well, not custom code. I think I just need to rip some stuff out. Okay, so first things, add stack frame. We do add a stack frame because we're adding a new when we're opening up a while loop, right? We'll have variables that we can add inside of here that that will fall off of the stack once we close the scope. So we definitely want to add a stack frame for sure. Token buffer, get token buffer. Okay, then we're gonna, so this loop right here, maybe I should add a comment right here. I'll put it right here. Loop through statements inside how do I say, while loop body. There we go. So yeah, we just want to loop through and then parse statements. If we can't parse it, of course we're going to throw an error. But yeah, we'll parse as many as we can, and then we'll stop once it's like an issue. If there is an issue, right, it'll throw it immediately, and then we'll exit, and then we'll check for an error, right? And then here, of course, we're using a while loop. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. Check for, okay, and then we check for closing curly brace. So we check for the closing curly brace, and then this is just some weird end of file stuff. I think I was having an issue at some point with something. I don't remember the details, but I'm sure this fixes something. Maybe I should add an explanation or something. If token buffer.type is equal to script token type none, and that is equal to end of file. Oh, okay, so this just checks for, like, say like you didn't properly close the curly braces or something, or like maybe there was some weird end of file issue. I think I handled that here, and then it'll just throw a very clear statement saying, hey, you ended the file properly, what's wrong with you? Because yeah, opening and closing curly braces inside of like function scopes and inside of like if statements and while loops can get kind of weird and funky if you don't handle them right. So yeah, I'll just leave that alone. Remove current stack variables in advance. Okay, and this parses chained conditional statements, which I do not give a fuck. Maybe I should stop cussing. Let's see. Fuck it. I don't care. Parse, okay, so yeah, parse this. We're not doing any chained anything. I don't care about that. Okay. And then for the new statement, create the new statement reference. We add the new while loop statement, and then we return true. And then in all the other cases where we threw errors and whatnot, we would return false. Right. What a long thing. Okay. So there's one additional thing I need to add here really quick. This should work as far as I can tell. This should create like a while statement. Trying to think of the thing I was supposed to add. Let me look at my things. So add while I'm not finished with this yet, but okay, yeah, make sure continuing breaks only occur inside of while loop. So I need to add some way of like being able to know if how do I say it? I currently exist inside of a while loop. So I was thinking of adding a stack, but I actually realized that's not even necessary. I can just have like an integer that'll just increment the like however many layers of nesting I have, right? So what I mean by that is like if I have this while loop, if I'm inside of this while loop right here, my layer of nesting inside of while loops is a 1, right? And then if I'm entered here, my layer of nesting inside the while loop is 2, right? And then when I fall out of the stack, and it reverts back to 1 here, and then when I fall out of this stack, I go back to 0, and etc, etc, right? So that's actually pretty easy to add, to be honest. The only thing I need to add is just I need to go into the those two things I need to add. First things I need to go into parser and actually add something that keeps track of that. So let's go to let's say off stack frame. Where do I do this? Parser, mstack variables. Where do we do this? Here. Okay, so this keeps track of all the little things while we're parsing the tokens. So what I'm gonna do is add a little thing. I guess this is a good place for me. I'm gonna do a uint 32_t. I'm gonna call this m underscore, what do I call this? While loop depth. I suppose this could apply to for loops as well. I'll just say loop depth. Loop depth. And then I'll, put this at 0 initially, because, 0. And then basically, all you need to do maybe I'll add some like functions for this. So I'll say like void increment loop depth, and then I'll do decrement loop depth. I'm aware that I could just increment it and decrement it directly into the code, inside of the code, but I feel like this is a lot more clear about what the intentions are. And I'm much more okay with adding this much like API to things when everything's kind of self-contained. So yeah, that is my reasoning. And then thing I will add, so increments, I'm gonna do m loop depth like this, right? And then this one I'm gonna do loop and loop depth -. And here I'm gonna do an assert. I'm saying kg assert that m loop depth is greater than 0. Yeah, because if it's not greater than 0, if the loop depth, like if I present a 0 here, right, like it's currently 0 and I try and decrement it, that's an error state. Like I should be immediately aware that I'm doing that, because that is not cool. If it's greater than 0, then Like if it's 1, I decrement it to 0, that's entirely fine. And then I don't need to add an assert here. This is fine the way it is. I don't see any bounds on the other side that are really gonna have an issue. I mean, unless you get to like the uint32 max of like 4 billion. 4 billion nesting, isn't that crazy? So actually, yeah, this is as easy as increment loop depth. And then this here will be as easy as decrements loop depth. And like I could handle like the error states out, but the thing is, like, I set this up where when I throw an error, I should immediately early out of whatever loop or whatever I'm in, and then just check the errors, and then it'll basically just fall out of the call stack like as fast as possible. So if it doesn't do that, then I need to check something and fix something. So I'm not really gonna worry about handling popping the stack frame in like these other edge cases. Once there's an error, it's just error state, we exit out immediately, and then we handle it in that way. So yeah, increment, decrement, loop depth. So now we have this information, and then what we can do is, if we're processing a break or continue statement, we just need to check what the current loop depth is, and then just make sure it's not 0, and then that's it. And then that'll be our little error state. So easy as that, really. So a few other things. Let me just check real quick. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna see where else do I use this thing. Make sure I didn't forget something. As far as like off the top of my head that I can think of, the only other things I need to do is maybe add it to the pretty printing, and then add it to the output. That's all I can think of. So, yeah, here's the pretty printing. I think. Is the pretty printing? No. This is the C++ output. So here, okay, here's the pretty printing. So for this one, yeah, this should be as easy as, instead of doing a conditional, I'm going to do a statement. You know, I'm going to refrain from doing this for a second, because I want to finish the break and while statements all at once as well. Let's go ahead and do these break statements while I'm still here. And the closest analog I can think of to this is actually just the return statement. And actually, the return statement's a bit too complicated in my opinion for this. I mean, yeah, I'll go ahead and paste it here, but yeah, I'd say like 99% of this is not necessary. I need to do break here. So check for keywords, and this time we're going to do not a statement return. Let me rename this really quick. Statement break. Unconfirmed references where? Yeah, please don't. Yeah. This looks fine though. Okay, current location, because we're, yeah, sure, I guess. Okay, now we're gonna check for the break keyword. Oh my god, my mouse. Break, there we go. So checking for the break keyword, and then here we're just, if m return type dot type is equal to none, Oh, interesting. I have a current return type. Attempt to add a return statement for a function with a void return type. Oh, I have that. Huh. Cool. Yeah, this is irrelevant though. But what I will check here instead is really should I comment there? Let's see. Ensure that loop current loop depth is greater than 0. I'm gonna say, i.e., we are inside of a loop body. So I'm gonna do m underscore loop depth is equal to 0. Yeah, I think that's the only case. If m loop depth is equal to 0, because it's a UN, so if there was an error other than that, like it. What's going on? I'm gonna do that. M loop depth is equal to 0. Yeah. So if it's equal to 0, that means something went wrong, because we can't be doing breaks in the middle of that. So we can't be doing breaks outside of the loop. Oh my goodness. Keyboard. Yeah, I need a new keyboard, new mouse. And we'll head over to targets and. So attempt to add returns. Add break statement. Break statement. And I'll say when not inside of a loop. Right, token, yep. And don't need to check for expression. Nope. Do I need a context probe? I mean, not really. The context probe is relevant for like the expression, I suppose. The context probe is relevant for the return statement because you can have an expression that you return with the return statement. Not relevant here though. We just need to check for a terminating semicolon, add it, and then sure the return type of the function is equivalent to the return type expression. Yeah, don't care about this either. New statements, new statement break, advance, current location. Yeah, we advance based on the current amount and then break. Well, yeah, I think that's a break statement. And actually, continue statement's just gonna look. Oh wait. Almost messed it up. That would have been funny. Hilarious. All right. Did I spell that right? Continue. Yeah. Let's rename this. Continue. This is the exact same logic, like verbatim. So, this guy's. Oh my god, this keyboard is killing me. Continue. Yeah, same exact logic. And make sure there's a semicolon. Do I want to throw an error here? Actually might want to throw an error here. Because if you've already like agreed that we're doing a continue statement, like why didn't you just finish the thing? Like what are you doing? Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah. could use a error. Expecting a semicolon to complete continue statement. Okay, so yeah. Basically, yeah, that's pretty much it. The continue statements, it just needs to check that it's actually a continue statement. Once you confirm the keyword to continue, it's like, okay, you're kind of locked in, right? Like, if you don't finish it, that's kind of on you. So I'll throw out errors that are relevant to that. Let me think what else. Yeah, I think that's it for actually building the statements themselves. So the only other thing now, or the only other two things I can think of, is pretty printing, and what's the other one? Actually, outputting the text. So let's go ahead over to the pretty printing. I think I do pretty printing at the top here somewhere. I don't even know why I still support this, honestly. Since everything already works in the editor. I just added this when I was initially writing the compiler, and I was like, oh, I need pretty printing, right? I mean, I guess it's nice, so I guess I'll just continue using it. Statements while loop, right? And then this is states. It's while loop, and this one I'm gonna call it while loop. I was going to find and replace this, but I was kind of worried it was going to mess with this part. So maybe I should have done it like in the selection. Actually, I probably should have done that. Oh well. Okay, well anyways, we don't need chain statements. That's not relevant anymore. Body statements are relevant. They are relevant, so I'll leave them. I don't see any errors, so that's fine. Condition expression we definitely want to output. Sweetly. We don't need to output the type. There's no such thing as a type now. But this one, while loop statements. There we go. So while loop statements, condition expression, print expression, yep. KG info, and then we print. That's print statement. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much while loop. And then I think the closest analog to this is going to be the I mean, if I'm to be honest, probably just the empty statement. So yeah, just get an empty statement, and then this time we're going to do a statement break. Statement break, and then I guess I'll do this just to be clear, but I'm going to use these. Break statements. So I would say break statement. Break. Continue. This one needs continue. We don't even use it, so it's fine. But yep, continue. Statement continue. Okay, so this should pretty print out correctly. Again, I haven't remembered the last time I used this, but I suppose I'll keep supporting it. Let me think. What am I doing next? Okay. So now we want to go to script outputs. generate statement. Let's go ahead and check. Oh yeah. So right now, I'm kind of doing some prerequisite work to work on my next stage for my AI. I can show you where I'm at with the AI currently. I have a diagram too. Let me go ahead and show you real quick. Where is it? Yeah, here. So basically I'm working on how do I say, like AI for like my Pong game, and I built the system over the past few videos for like getting AI into my engine, I guess, and available. And then the previous stream and this stream, I'm actually working on building the AI in Pong. And I finished this version of the AI already, right? And right now I'm getting kind of like the prerequisite engine tools in so that I can get this system working. I'm also kind of stalling so I can just show you the AI and the thing, but basically, also if I look in my progress board, yeah, basically right now I'm adding like while loop support into my scripts. Oh, the cat's been there the whole time. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts so much. Well, I'm gonna leave it, I guess. That's fine. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna move the cat, but I'm recording a video, so thanks for telling me. I guess I'll leave it in the video. Ugh. You know, I have like a list of like things I do per stream, and I made this list specifically so I don't do that. You know, make the cat big. And then like make the cat small when I start the stream. I didn't read the list, so that was my bad. But yeah, do you want me to explain anything in particular, like what I'm doing like currently, or I'm just gonna show you like where I'm at with the AI inside the game. Ooh. And I can turn that down really quickly. Okay. So in the game, currently, I don't have any labels or anything. I'm gonna deal with like the UI in a later section, but basically this left side is the player and this right side is the AI. And the AI, all it does is just follow the Y position of the ball. So I'll go ahead and play and you can see. And it's pretty easy to beat because, you know, it's not using its speed up abilities or really anything, because literally all it does is just follow the Y position of the ball. So yeah, it's pretty easy to get past. So right now I'm just adding more complex features so that, you know, it's a little smarter. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with the AI. Ah, dang. Now I'm thinking like what I want to do with this stream because that cat was in the middle the whole time. Yeah. I mean, standard AI is just follow the ball. I'm just adding like, how do I say? Let me show you in the diagram so I can better explain it. So yeah. Basic Pong AI again is just seek the ball, right? That's what is currently in. It took like no time to add that. So right now I'm just adding the ability to calculate the collision location, like the perceived collision location. So if I look at basically like a diagram, and you can kind of assume that the current vector of the ball is going this way, it's going to go down this way, it's going to collide, so I'm gonna hit a raycast this way, and then I'm assuming it's going to go this way, collide, hit another raycast, and then hit here. And then I need to figure out wherever this location is, walk it back over to right here, and then this will be the Y position that I want the AI to move towards. So that instead of just following the ball blindly, now it's able to actually perceive like, oh, it's supposed to like, it bounces here, bounces here, bounces here. Oh, I should go over here, right? So it's a bit smarter. And the other thing is, in my game, you are actually able to like kind of deflect the ball, right? Like if you move a particular direction, you can deflect it like a different direction. If you get what I'm saying with that. So me as the player, I can do that, but the AI can't. So I just want to add deflections right after that. Oh, yeah, add deflections. And then after that, I'm gonna add a few more like kind of like floats or maybe booleans that will kind of like what is the word? Just variables that I can change to kind of like modify the behavior of the AI. Oh yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, I know I could calculate it directly, but I also wanted to just get, because I don't have my raycast support in for my engine, like period. And then also I have like a specific way that I calculate my what do I say? That I calculate my like collisions with the top and bottom wall. Like I edit them in a very specific way. I suppose I could literally just like use that to just do a math equation and then just figure out where it's supposed to be using like the trajectories like you said. But I don't know. For me, it's easier to just do the raycast real quick and then I can add in the visualization for it, and then because it's a simple game, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really worried about doing a few extra cycles. And also the main thing for this is just getting these tools in so that when I move on to new games, I have them available to me. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with this right now. It's still bumming me out that I didn't... Cat was sitting there the whole time. I don't think how much code I wrote. Yeah. I don't really intend on making it like different shapes though, but that's an interesting idea though. Yeah, I'll think about it because I'm honestly, I've been working on this game for like a year at this point because I've just been working on the engine, right, to get it working. So I'm kind of tired of Pong. I'm not gonna lie, I want to move on to another game. I did take a look through the Box 2D API though recently. So I did see that whole thing. Currently I only have circles and squares, so yeah, I'll see, maybe. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna keep working. So again, right now I'm working on my compiler so I can add while loops for my scripts. So let me see where I'm at. Generate. I generated the statement. Oh yeah, okay, so I need to generate the while loop statements now. So let's go down to wherever I do conditionals, because those are pretty close. Just copy and paste it, I guess. All right, and then I don't need to worry about this type thing. Let's see. If conditional statement type is elf, yeah, I don't care about this, but I do need to write out the conditional expression. So it's irrelevant. Generate expression for the conditional expression. Generate thing for conditional expression. I did erase the this part. And it's gonna be while, let's see. While open, do generate the expression, do the close, add indentation. Do I need to add indentation? Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. And then open curly, indent level. Yeah, because we want to do while open condition. And then we want to add here, add a colon, an indent, and then we want to increment the indent level so that we're right here. And then we output the series of statements. That's not going to change. Decrement indent level at the final curly brace. And then we don't worry about any chained anything. And that's the entire while loop. Okay. Why did I decide to make my own engine? I mean, it's fun. Like, how do I say? I think that's the main reason I did a software engineering degree, or like a CS degree. Like, I finished it like earlier this year. And during that time, my favorite course was like a graphics programming course. And yeah, like I made a few little like shapes and whatnot, and I found it like super fun. And I started making my own little game. And then I would just think, oh, I want this tool to do this thing, or I want this tool to do anything. And it kind of just ballooned into this. And then I found like the Cherno series, and I found like a bunch of like online resources, and just kind of went from there, you know? But I mean, yeah, if you want like a specific like reason, yeah, like I mean, it's fun, you know? Like I think I enjoy making tooling above like a lot of other things, so. Let's see, statements, where is the one? Statements, while loop. Maybe just call it while, I don't know. Statements, while. Yeah, I think so too, to be honest. Yeah, I think people who like say like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna make something better than Unity, I'm gonna make the next Skyrim inside of it. I mean, you could like make the next like Skyrim, or make some like whatever idea you have in your head, but expecting to like beat like, I don't know, like dozens to like 100 like developers working on the same thing, and expecting that to like go head to head is I don't know. I feel like you need to reevaluate your expectations. But making something that like kind of just works for your own workflow, I think it's really nice. Conditional statements. Wow. Loop statement. Right. Yeah, it's a very like divisive topic. Not divisive. What is the word? Controversial, I guess, for some people, because there a lot of people have an opinion about it. But you know, again, like you said, main thing honestly is to have fun and learn. So I think this is it for this one. Let me go ahead and generate my other statement. What were the other ones I was generating? So I'm generating the while loop. So this will generate the actual structure for it. So the last thing is I need to add break and continue statements. So let me head over to the empty. Oh yeah, I don't even output generate empty statements, do I? Sure. Let's see. I guess I have to make it from scratch. It's still bumming me out. The cat was not. I don't know what to do with this video at this point then, since the cat was sitting there the whole time. I wonder if I can remove the cat in post. No, I'm not recording the clip. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I've been working on this thing like, how do I say, like on my own for like a while. I feel like I was driving myself a little, not crazy, but like I was like really getting myself like into it, and then I feel like I was kind of like in my own little echo chamber for like a long time. It's really nice to be out and like, you know, like this, talk to people about it and everything, who like understand like code and whatnot, who like come by and they give their opinions on like they're making their own renders, they're making their own like games, and they talk about whatever, and it's cool to like, you know, chat with people who like understand. But yeah, it was definitely a lot of work for sure. But I mean, like, I feel like it was definitely worth it. Like, I learned a lot about like so many different, like, I wrote networking code, like this whole compiler I wrote like a whole bunch of graphics code, a whole bunch of like what is it, and I have like an audio system I wrote, I mean, you know, I use libraries for like just these number of things, but some things I wrote entirely from scratch. It's like it touches like a ton of different places in CS that you wouldn't normally touch just doing like other types of apps and whatnot. Add indentation. So yeah, that would be the appropriate indentation. And then I want to just do, I think, literally it's just a break in that, and then that's it, right? Like I don't, yeah, I think that's it. Add an indentation. Do I do one post? So this ends right here, and then I just move on to the next line, and then I'm good. So if I'm not mistaken, this should just work. So I'm from the US. I try not to give out like specific information about myself. But I'm not gonna give you like my city or whatever. But just as a rule, because I have like separate social media for this entire account and everything. But yeah, I'm from the US. It's like the main reason I'm a cat. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Continue. Continue. Okay, that should work. Yeah. Okay, right. I need to make a decision about what I'm going to do with this video. So I think if the cat's in front, I was just showing that one. Okay, yeah, I'm still gonna post this exactly the way it is. Right, I'm just thinking to myself right now. For the first part, I'm gonna leave it in. And just put a warning, I guess, for it. I don't think I wrote too much crazy code, to be honest. Okay, so I'm just not worrying about that. Dang. All right, so this should work. So I'm gonna check if this all this code that I just wrote is actually going to work. And if you're curious about like the compiler, basically, like I have my own language for the compiler, and then the language compiles directly into C++, right? So I don't need to worry about like, you know, any like crazy assembly or whatever they got going on with some of those compilers. I just translate it into C++ and that's good enough. So let me open up a test script. I'm gonna try this out, and as long as it generates good C++ code, I'm done. Do true. Let's try return. Oh, okay, no. Expecting a closing curly brace to terminate. Okay, so it's not recognizing the. Okay, well, let me test something else really quick. Let's see if break is gonna give me the error I want. Oh, it's not even recognizing it in the errors. Interesting. What is going on with that? Wait, let me debug this. Are we even? Oh wait, no, I know what's wrong. I know exactly what's wrong. Jeez. Okay. Didn't even hook it up. So I wrote the functions for dealing with these, but then I never actually like parsed the statement. Yeah, so I need to add it over here. Let's see. And I need to be a bit particular about the order of this. So parse return statement. So I'm assuming that this return statement is going to be kind of similar to the break and the continue. So I'll just put these right here. Break. And continue. Statements. Break. Continue. There we go. And the next thing is just add the while loop. I need to be very specific where I put this. So it's similar to conditional, and since it's very similar to conditional, I'm assuming. Oh, actually, I need to add these errors as well. I'll just probably put it next to conditional. Continue. Yeah, my shaders are pretty simple at the moment. That's actually like the next thing after I finish my current game I'm going to deal with. Right now, my main consideration is just making a game like period and then having it the full workflow in the engine done. And the next thing is I'm going to cover like shaders more intently. I have like a shader building system, but I'm not super happy with it. So I'm going to reconfigure that and make kind of a system that's more similar to like Shader Toy. Like I'm not going to add all the features Shader Toy has, obviously, but I want to have a little like editor. Does this thing play audio? Let me turn that off. A little editor, you know, and then I'm just going to work with GLSL for now, since that's already what I've been working on, and then all the tutorials use GLSL, so But yeah, like something like this where like it'll be available in my editor, and then I can go ahead and configure it there. And then once I have that, there was this guy I was going to cover. Let me find his name. What is going on? Yeah, the art of code. This guy's cool. So he just does like straight shader code. So I'm probably gonna run through some of his playlists, and then just cover like some of his little features that he does, because he writes different like Shader Toy demonstrations on that website. Yeah, he has little tutorials for it. So yeah, that's definitely on my mind for sure. This return statement here. So this one's gonna be continue. No, it's break, and then this one's continue, and the last one's gonna be the while loop. Yeah, and yeah, I do have my own shaders for my building, but I am too embarrassed to show it, honestly. Really garbage code. Let's see. First statement expression. So where was the condition? There it is. So let's go ahead and copy this. Make sure I didn't do any like copy paste errors here. I do that sometimes. Break continue. Conditional. Okay, so I'll put this right after. Well, I appreciate it, man. Let's see. Appreciate the grace, man. Is it okay? While loop. While loop. There we go. And yeah, this doesn't take a predicate, so I can get rid of that. And then this one is going to be a while loop. Okay, so I think that's it. So now we will actually be parsing this. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I forgot. I mean, I guess I'll see when it compiles. I just want to think in advance. No, I didn't put it in. Put it through the output. Nope. We go to the parser and you go to there. No, there's that. Go into the while loop statement. Go out. When we pass it into the abstract syntax tree, it should already be inside of it. So then we go into that AST, just gets put directly into the output generator. And I am already dealing with those statements. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah. I feel it, dude. Yeah. Shaders are hella interesting. I wish, I don't know. I wanna understand the math more intensely, like the matrix math, and then like more of like the 3D calculus when I get like really into like the PBR stuff. I feel like people, they like go through it and then they like just copy and paste some of the code, but like I really want to understand it so I can tweak it and make some like weird ass effects. I think that would be sick. Okay. All right, let's cross the fingers. Let's see. Come on, while loop. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Haha, okay. Yeah. So if I do bool is success, I guess, I don't know, is equal to false. This should be parsing a Boolean expression. So if I do is success, spelled it wrong. Or false, I don't know. Yeah, so it's parsing Boolean expressions correctly. And then the next thing is if I try and do a break outside of the while loop, it should throw an error. And it should tell me, yep, attempt to add break statement when not inside of a loop. Perfect. Let's see if, and then also the continue. Let's see. Yeah, these are all, okay, so that's perfect. And then the last thing I want to check is just having like nested while loops. Make sure that still works. So if I do false. Let's see, float number is equal to 2.0. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Sick. So let me try it. Let me test compile this and see like what it outputs with. Okay, so the entity turns into int. Yeah, same thing, same thing. We have a while is success. Yeah, this just outputs directly while. Okay, looks good. C++ looks fine. Sick. Yeah, I feel like the linear algebra and the 3D like calculus is only, the 3D calculus is really only relevant for I think PBR and like certain applications. But yeah, the linear algebra can definitely pop up in certain places, especially if you're trying to get into like optimizations. I could see that creeping up kind of heavy. But yeah, I know what you mean. I when I was looking through some of the shader toy math, it isn't too bad. Mostly just a lot of like little like what are those things called, clamp functions, etc, 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 stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited to get into that. Do you like how do I ask? Let me think. Like what's your experience with it? And well, let me see. Okay, I'm just hyped that it actually worked. I'm so mad the cat wasn't. Oh my god, that's gonna bother me this whole day. I'll be honest. All right, let me go to my progress board and just. Go ahead and check. So yeah, we added the loop to the KG script, so that's done. The next thing is adding debug dots and lines to the editor. So I gotta think about that. So I already draw lines a lot in my editor. As you can see, I have these grid lines. I have like different orientations for these lines as well. So there's like a line that I draw to like outline the frustrum. And then I also have lines for what was the other thing I draw lines for? I don't know, but I have grid lines for like the X, Y, and like Z axis. So I can do all of these and then whatnot. And I can add like the little, what are they called? So anyways, I know how to draw lines, so that shouldn't be an issue. I just added the points API. The drawing points API, so that should be fine. So I just need to think of how I want to display the debug lines and how those should appear. Since I already know how to draw them. I gotta... Let me see if I can think that through, actually. Yeah, I had a game idea. Maybe I'll add it in here. So I have a bunch of like random 80s games that I want to make, right? And I'm kind of choosing ones that are like really easy to make, like on purpose, right? So Pong, Snake, Breakout, and then these ones are going to get more towards like the bigger game ideas I have. But the twin stick shooter, I plan on really going crazy with the shaders, like really going crazy. And I have a specific idea that I have because my friend, he makes music, and he made an album a few years ago that I really liked, but it got like, you know, like 1,000 views here and there, you know, for a lot of the songs. But I want to make his album into a game. I think that would be sick. And then if I make his album into the game, I could sync the music along with like a level, and then you play through the level like in the twin stick shooter, and then the music would sync up with like whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And then everything outside of that, the graphics and the shaders will kind of like complement that. And then I put all of my work into the shaders, if you know what I'm saying, like crazy lines, crazy shader toy, like effects and whatnot, bruh. But yeah, I'm getting a bit beyond myself. Still gotta get to these first. Okay, so let me think this through really quickly. Do I want to put this here? Let me go to my Google Drive really quick. Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and oh no, I've never heard of it. Hyperdemon? The name does sound kind of familiar. I think I might have seen it like passing by on like a list, maybe. But nah. How do I create this on here? Let me see. File, no. You know what? I'm just gonna brainstorm it in my document real quick. Just let me get rid of this. So this is all done. Like, do I make a class? Maybe I'll make like a STD vector of like lines. Like lines, and then an STD vector of points. And then I'll put this inside of my viewport panel. And then these will be debug lines and debug. And these will just render every frame. So you add these and then you render them every frame. Oh, for sure. Let me see. Oh yeah, I can kind of see that's trippy, so let me turn the audio down really quick. Didn't bring it over so I don't get a copyright thing either. Let me see. Damn, sure. Okay, so they apply the shaders mostly to the models I can see. And they have the particle effects, I see that. This trip is a black background. Let me look at another trailer really quick. Oh, I see. Okay, so they have like some. These are some like frame buffer shaders. They've got like a what is that called? It's like a something eye lens, fisheye lens. Is that what they call it? Oh, then they have the shaders going through the text. Oh, sick. Kind of fragmented. It's got the little. Oh, damn. That's cool. Actually, the shaders aren't like, I mean, they look crazy. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I could easily make that like that. They look crazy, but it looks like they put it in the right places. Like they put it into the particles, they put it into the floor. Yeah, and they just work on the frame buffer. That okay, yeah, I could see that. That's kind of inspiring. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna save this. No, yeah, like they really did put it in the right places. Like I feel it. It's cohesive for sure. Okay, so M debug lines, M debug points. So I'm assuming that maybe the API for this is like maybe you like void add debug line, and then you provide like maybe a vector, like a math, a vec3, like a start points, and then math vec3 for like an endpoints. And then a line can just be a struct debug line. And that can be something like it's literally just this. I mean do I even need to make structs for this? I guess it makes it clearer. But yeah, math just start point, end point, and that'll be a debug line, and then we'll just have a vector of debug lines. And then we'll have a vector of debug points, and then this will be the debug points. I'll do M points. And then M underscore starts, M underscore ends. Okay, and then I think in the like the render loop, let me see. Yeah, I heard you type. I'm just trying to get this real quick. I just want to make sure I get my full thought process through on this. Render loop, let me see. Okay, so if I go through the on update or whatever with the TS, then we just want to make sure that we how do I say, we just do a for loop through the AM debug lines, and then we just want to send line data to renderer. I mean, yeah, this is really as simple as that. And then M debug lines, M debug points. Oh, but the thing though. Okay, this is the thing. If I add these debug lines, this is only gonna be relevant in the editor. But if I add that API to the scripts, I need to make sure that I clear them out. That's interesting. Okay, well, that's fine. And point data to render. That's fine on the render loop. And then the external API again will just be add debug line, add debug points, and then we'll just do points. There we go. And then the other thing, I want to have clear debug, clear all debug lines. And then you can kind of guess it's just clears lines, I don't know. Void clear debug points. Just clears points. Now I just need to provide these to scripts. So these four need to have provide these functions to KG scripts. Okay, there we go. Also incredible game, both this and it's pretty cool. I mean, not really, but similar. Really polished. Nah, sick. I wonder if they have let me take a look. Yeah, they got 10 out of 10, sick. Yeah, that's definitely like the, what is it? Like the word I'm gonna keep saying is like cohesive. Like everything looks right. Like it's got like the pixelated style, you know, and everything. I can see they kind of have like a cell shading kind of thing that they're doing. But yeah, it's super consistent. Yeah, no, sick. Oh yeah. Here's the critters these, let me see. For sure, for sure. Let me see. Okay, I think this is all the logic I need. So let me go ahead and add this into the engine. Let's see. Viewport panel. Oh well. Okay. Because the audio was playing, but let's see. So I have a draw world access section. Let me pull this over here so I can read it. So debug line, debug. Okay, so the first thing I think up here, I'm just gonna add correct debug line. Debug points. And then from here, I literally could just copy this code over. Just debug line is just this, and this is just this. We do include math here, right? Somewhere. We do. Sick. All right. And then we want to have these two vectors. Okay. Did not include vector here? It's probably included somewhere in here, but it might as well be safe. Let's see, but it's a bit messy, isn't it? If I can sort this, draw world access data, and then we can put these together. And then here I'm gonna put draw. What is this called? Oh, debug lines. There we go. Lines data. Yeah, consistent. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna code that one. Okay. So the data's in there. And then I think the first part of this is just getting lines drawing, period. That's probably a good starting point. So let's head over to maybe draw world access. Maybe I'll make a void draw debug lines. Debug overlay. Debug. I guess debug. What's a descriptive? Debug, draw debug. You know, maybe I'll separate them. Draw. No, I can't make them. Draw debug. Writing function names, man. The bane of programming. Probably just ask ChatGPT. Ugh. Okay, camera fractions are a bit simpler, so leave the line vertices because I have the frustum lines. The shape of it never changes. It's always a frustum, so it has 9 vertices. It's just a standard array. Then we get the selection color, which is like expert, I guess. I don't know. Is static even necessary then? I don't know. Get entity transform in an entity camera. Okay. Transform from what? What is the entity? Draw frustum. Okay, so I provide. So what do I call this actually? Let me see. I need a second. Here we go. So we draw the frustrum for the entity the main entity that holds the camera component. Sure. And the world axes are just drawn in general, but I believe I still need the information about the camera component somewhere, right? Or maybe not. Yeah, embed your camera. It's right here. What is going on? Yeah, so I've been streaming around like noon, like Pacific Standard Time, so right about now, or like 2 hours ago. So, but I only do it like on the weekdays, so I'm gonna start again probably on Monday. Hey, I appreciate the follow though. It helps a lot, man. Next time I'll make sure I get the cat out of the way. Damn. But yeah, cheers, man. Hope you have a good day. For sure, Layman. All right. So let's see. If I have multiple camera points, is this right? Drawing it for every single one? Let me see. Box colliders. So the world axis just gets the position. I don't worry about the frustrum at all. But in this case, actually, yeah, I don't care about the position at all. For the camera, I don't care about like where it's at. I don't care like, yeah, I don't. These debug lines are just going to do what they do, I suppose. Okay, so we get the entity transform and entity component for drawing a particular frustrum, right? And then submit frustrum cube color to render. So we just submit the color. Along with the buffer and the shader. And yeah, these don't change for these first few lines. Did I oh, maybe because I had it at const expert. Okay. Oh, and then I modify it. Oh, okay, yeah, I can't have it as const expert then. Oh, actually, I can't have this as static either. Now that I think about it, because if I modify it over here, then when it comes back, it's going to be What am I doing? Let's see. Maybe let me find an easier one to draw. Let's see. So scale, translation, transform. This auto is a view, yeah, it's probably good. Probably good being an auto actually. Transfer component and circle collider. So we grab the transfer component, grab the circle collider. Translation is tc.translate. And then we place this directly into a transform. And then we provide that. Okay. Yeah, this is not what I want. I want... No, it's something like this. If anyone's watching and wondering, I'm just thinking right now. I'm trying to figure out what code I can yoink so that I can bring the functionality over. Okay, well, you know what? It looks like this, actually. Look, it's looking like something like this. So the first thing I'm going to do probably is just... Well, let me go find the function I was working with. Put it below the world axis, right? Right here, okay. So it's still the line input spec, it's still the same. The only thing is, yeah, so we have... In this case, I'm just gonna go from like 5, I guess. This is in the x-axis to like... I'm gonna go like 5. Or I'm gonna go like 25, right? And then I'm also gonna go from like 5 to like 25. So it should be like diagonal. So that should pop out a lot. And this is S highlight color 1. Let me see what color I want to add to this. Let's see, S blue, S green. I guess I'll just go with S color blue. They're yellow. I guess green's the closest one. You get to yellow here. Okay, I'll go with green, and then we're gonna push this, and then just push to the renderer. And then we just need to call this. So let me go up to wherever we call a draw world axis. I think I'm gonna draw the debug overlay no matter what for now. All right. What? Oh, I forgot the semicolon. Right. Did I forget semicolon anywhere else? No. Okay, I guess here I'll put std vector of debug line. Debug lines. see vector of the debug points and debug points. All right, let's try this again. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. Give me like 5 minutes and I'll come back. Oh, actually, okay. I'm gonna check if this worked, and then if it did, cool. And then I'll go and take a break after that. Okay, cool. Yeah. So we're drawing the line. Is it being drawn on top or is it behind? That is the question. Let me see. I think it's being drawn. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That, I don't see behind, so good. That's intended. So yeah, we're drawing a line. That's sick. Let me see if I can get like drawing points to work real quick. Because if I can like functionally get them to work, then we're pretty much like almost done with this. All right, so let's see, how are we doing this? S output vector clear, and then we draw this line, and then we use the S line input spec. So is there like an init function that I'm doing? Oh yeah, okay, there is an init function that I'm doing. So I have one for the line spec and I have one for the, okay, cool. So these are the like default project positions I have for like different things. But I don't care about any of that right now. I just want to get like a point input spec in. And my assumptions are that the point input spec should look pretty similar to this. It's just going to be like one big difference. It's just that instead of doing a draw line, we're going to be draw points. Flat color. And then this is going to be the point shader spec. Okay, then we set the color data here, I guess. Local shader, local local buffer. ECS shape component. Line shape components. Point shape components. Actually not sure what's going on here, but hopefully it still works. I don't know. Current shape is equal to none, which is fine. Vertices is null pointer. Yeah. And then these are going to be points. local shader, local buffer, and then point shape component. And then there's gonna be point inputs. So this may or may not work. We'll see. Really hoping it does though. So yeah, it's initialized, so I don't see any reason why. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why it might not work, but let's see. So really, all I need to do is just provide one vertex. I'm gonna put it like here, I guess. Just like 555, right? I think it automatically billboards it, if I'm not mistaken. But for this one, we're gonna do S red. Make it distinct. Okay, and then here we're not doing line spec, we're doing S point input spec. S point input spec. I don't know if there's any extra processing I need to handle. I don't think so. So draw debug points, and then here I'll draw debug line. Okay. All right, this is the one. This is the one. Let's see if this debug stuff works. If you're on YouTube, by the way, I know that cat was in front. I've been thinking about like how to deal with that issue. So I think what I might do is I might end the stream like a bit early, like once I get these few things in. And then when I edit the video, I'm gonna go ahead and just do a little like explanation of like what happened, I guess, while the cat was in front. So that hopefully people on YouTube aren't like what happened, you know? Did I click close? I must have closed an accident. Okay. Oh no, I see a point. It's so small. Also, why is it green? I thought I made it red. Holy crap, that point is so small. Yeah, I gotta make that bigger. I'm pretty sure that's it though. If you have like low resolution, you're like, what are you talking about? Like, I see it. It's so small. But I definitely see it. Okay. Wait, I put red. Huh. Why is it showing as green? That's weird. Well, anyways, I don't know. But let me go to the renderer really quick. It is working though, so that's better than I expected. Let me add a new API. That's point width. I don't know what the default width for this type of thing is, but I guess it won't take me there, so I guess I'll just do it myself then. I don't know. Render API. I think it's like GL point width. GL points width. Or GL point size. And then width. I guess I'll change the size. OpenGL is calling it size. I don't think I'm doing any like inheritance trees or anything with this, so yeah, this should be fine. Yeah. Okay, so set point width. Now let me figure out where I call this. Okay. Under API, draw set points width. S data points width. Floats points width. This might throw some errors, I think, because editing data that's been here for a long time in the engine can cause like really weird errors. So we will see. Yeah, let's make the point width a bit bigger. I don't know why it's still rendering as green though. That's weird. I thought I put red. Yeah, I thought I put red. I don't understand. I mean, either way, I guess it's fine, right? I mean, I guess the debug colors can be like, no, actually, you know, I want to see colors. I want to see like which one's the points and which one's the... do I? Yeah, I'm not even sure how much I care, to be honest. Two hours and 11 minutes. Yeah, okay, let's see. Okay, well, I'm really hoping this makes like a bigger point. Really hoping. If it does, I'm not gonna call it done, but I'm gonna call it like done for this stream. And I'll go ahead and post this video. And I'll go ahead and deal with that little debacle I had at the beginning of the stream. And we can start again. All right, let's see. Okay, that's definitely a bigger dot. I think I will make that like much bigger. Let me go with like, so let's go find point width. We're gonna go with like 10, actually. It's gonna be fairly big point. Okay, 10 is ridiculous. Looks like it's like a proportion of whatever the size is supposed to be, right? But yeah, I guess as I get further away, the debug gets bigger. That's fine, I guess. Or let's do that. The lines are going to be a bit thicker. Is the renderer yelling at me? No, it's not. Good. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's not bad, actually. I think I made the lines a bit thicker. Or are they they look exactly the same to me, honestly. Well, whatever. Is it because S red is like invalid or something? Let me look really quick. S red. Oh. Okay, no, I understand. S point input shader. That's why. And then S point input spec. Okay, no, I understand what we're wrong. But I do want red, and I think I'm gonna make this point like this. There we go. Alright, so now this should be... Actually, wait. Build... Cancel. Let's just do these exact same 2 points, and then I think what it'll look like is just like a line with like points delineated. And at that point, I think like we're good. We're good. I just need to expose these functions somewhere. I don't know. I might have to send them as events, actually, to let them reach the editor. Just because of the way I have my engine set up. Yeah. Let's see. Are the points being drawn first? Let me see. Okay, yeah, that looks cool though. So basically what I want, or what I'm going to need from this little debug system I have going on, is when I go to test, I want something like I don't know, like add debug line, right? And then I just provide like two vectors. I do like 0.0f and 2.0f, and then like, you know, well, these will be 2 vector 3s, and then this will make me a line, and then I can do a point. I can just provide 1 vector, and then I'll provide the points, and I can I can essentially add debug lines and add debug points, and then I'll have one where it's like clear debug overlay, debug display, debug data, maybe. I don't know what to call this function, honestly. Clear debug lines. Graphics. I think I'm gonna go with clear debug data for now, I guess. I might change it later. Or I guess I'll do like clear debug lines as one function and clear debug point as another function. And I guess it's clearer. I don't know. I could also put like a delay before like debug lines go away. That could be a thing. I don't know. That's probably an API I'll add later. For now, I just want to get some debug lines on the screen and then clear them. That's all I need for this. But yeah, it looks like it's working. It's debug lining, right? So now basically I'm just gonna have to add like a for loop for m underscore debug lines, right? And then for each of the debug lines, we're gonna have a, what was it? Debug line, reference line, right? And then for each line, we're just gonna do this, really. And then we're just going to push back line dot m start points. And then we're going to push back here line dot m endpoints. Endpoints. Yeah, I literally think that's it. And then we just take this, put it over here, and I think we're good. And then this one, we're gonna get rid of this part. Point dot endpoint. And I think that's literally it. And if we head back up here, we can go ahead and initialize this with something. So 0.0f, 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 comma 5.0f, 5.0f, 5.0f. This is not how I'm going to initialize this, by the way. This is a horrible way to initialize this. But I think that should be valid, actually. Yep, that's totally valid. So this is like one line. And then, okay. Just invert it really quickly. And then I think here, by the way, this is just projecting it. 0.0f, 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 2.0f, 2.0f, 4.0f, 4.0f, 4.0f. That should be fine, right? If I'm not mistaken. Why is it mad at me? Because a debug point really is just a vec3, right? Am I supposed to like do this or something? That's ridiculous. How about debug points? You had to be like super explicit with it to get it to work. Oh, I guess so. All right, sure. All right. right, so it looks like everything works. It's looking good. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream pretty soon. Let me go ahead and commit really quick. I feel like I think a little bit out of it this stream. Yeah, so let me go ahead and commit, and then I'll go ahead and look at the progress board really quick. And then I plan on coming back today. I think I just need to kind of refresh, regroup, and deal with the video with the cat in the way. And then after that, I'll do a fresh stream, and then yeah, probably complete this. This will be good. Again, didn't expect this to work so easily, but it did. So. So the first thing I added in the scripting part, so add continue, break, and while keywords to script language def to script language definition in script compiler service. That's easy. There we go. Add continue, break, and while statements to script compiler and script compiler common dot h script compiler another script parser dot cp slash dot h script token parser and script output generator dot cp. Add support for debug lines and points in ViewportPanel.cpp slash .h. Add for adjusting point width in render api.h gl render.cp. Okay. Lay groundwork for Pong v2. All right, that commits it. Let me actually read my thing for once. Let's see. End stream, push code, yep, update progress boards. The progress board is pretty much the same at this point. Yeah, so we're still working on this. So I'd say about like 75, I'd say it's 70% done with this debug dot line thing. So just a few more functions need to be added, and then I need to add support inside the scripts, and then I need to connect that support to the how do you say? Connect the scripts to the editor, and then it'll finally work, right? And then I just need to add raycasting support. This is gonna be a whole thing, but I kind of already have an idea how to do this, and then hopefully next stream maybe we can get into like this. That'd be great. Start working on the version 2 of the Pong. Let's see. Yeah, so this time we'll make the cat bigger. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna edit the YouTube video for the stream, and then I'll see what time I'm gonna head on again today. But yeah, I think that's about it. If you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you have a good day. If you're on stream, I hope you have a good day too. And yeah, all right, bye bye.